Hey guys, Jaybird here, and we're continuing off texturing the Glock. So what we finished last day was kind of doing the slide. We did the pistol grip a little bit, still got to add some more stuff to it because it's a bit flat. It's just a texture and a kind of a bit of a normal there. We also did the magazine, which looks pretty cool. Might need to add some scratches to that guy, and the bullet as well, which I could also add some scratches to. And then we're going to be jumping right back into this. So I think I'm going to get back out of this because I was in the actual slide material still. So I'm going to delete the old slide material that we made last day, and then we made that second one. So I'll call this one slide now. And then I'm going to kind of go through the last couple of materials. So we still have the red one, which is going to be a dark metal, and the blue, which is going to be a plastic. So, why don't we look for a dark plastic that isn't too bumpy. I could always pick one of these ones and just make it black instead of colored, because it doesn't matter too much about the color, you can always change that. You just pick whatever material fits it. That's the kind of key idea with this. They just kind of give you some ideas of what the color could be. Although looking at that looks pretty cool with the red. Alright, so enough kidding around with the red now. Why don't we switch it on over. So I'm going to bump the brightness up, the shininess of this, so why don't we go ahead and turn this stuff down a bit. Go back over to the color map and make it some bit darker. Almost looks a little rough there. Why don't we bump that so that it's a bit smoother. Might have to go into the normal map and actually turn that down a bit. That's probably from the damage in the dirt, so why don't we make that a bit more opaque. I do want to make it shinier still. So I'm going to bump these guys down a bit. Make this guy darker. And I guess I might have to add some metallicness to it because it doesn't seem to get to the brightness that I want it to. So we'll make it a bit metallic. Make the other ones a bit more transparent. We'll kind of see what that looks like. Definitely got darker, that's for sure. I think the normal is causing all that. Maybe it's the plastic. Yeah, it's definitely the plastic. There we go, now we're gonna add a bit more shine to that. Not too bad. I like to sometimes just kind of go into the view that you would see in game. Somewhere probably like that. It's not too bad. What other parts were affected by that? There's the blue parts there. Oops, didn't mean to go into the mask mode. Why am I mask? There we go. Well, it's not too bad still. I might add like a faint white line around edges and stuff like that. So why don't we see if I can do that. Probably going to go into the albedo, add a new material, Oh, they added a new Megascan asset thing import. That's interesting. So, I'm thinking lines of some sort, but we need material that would be like a paint almost, or a scratch material. So why don't we look for scratch? Like I might be able to just use a base scratch like that. Make it very light, and then put it only on the edges. So, here, I'll show you what I mean. I'm gonna make it lighter. And then I'm gonna go to the mask, and it's only gonna be around the edges, but faint. So it kind of outlines stuff a bit. Let's see if we have anything that might be able to simulate that. Like the asset one. That one didn't exactly do what I was hoping for. Although it did get a little bit of a cool effect. I think I might have to do that manually then. So are we on? We're on subtract. So why don't we go into add? I need to kind of adjust the lighting so I can see in here. What I might have to do is turn on the headlight so that I get a view of light coming out of my camera. And this is very similar to Photoshop controls, so I can hold shift and just kind of click and it will kind of follow along. So I'll just kind of go along the edge like this. And I'll make it fainter in a second, so don't worry, I know that's a little bright. Although, we're also looking at it with a headlight, so it's going to be a lot brighter than what it's going to look like when we're done. But I'm just kind of outlining this part of the trigger right now. So get that one done, we'll do the inner one now. One seems to start here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I have this inverted on the other side, so it should be doing it to the opposite side for me, which is perfect. So I don't have to do it a second time. If you ever lose the camera, you can click F and it will just bring it right back to you. Yeah, okay, so there we go, we're all good. Let's see if I want to add it to anywhere else. Maybe along my normal here. I'm going to size this down a bit. Might want to play with the brush shape a bit more, because it's doing that weird thing that I don't like. So we'll go in, just do this. You know, that might actually be too much. I'm going to go ahead and just erase that. Bring the shape of the brush down a bit, and we'll make it fainter. So we don't need to worry too much about how bright the whiteness is looking right now. I'm going to be making it a bit more opaque in a second, once we're done here. Maybe one last one right on the edge. So I'm going to accept the mask, and then what I'm going to do is, that's not the final version of what I'm going to do here. What I'm going to end up doing now is making it actually transparent, so it's more of an overlay. And I can actually go in and, actually, let's bring this back up a bit. I can change the material mask sort of way that it's doing it, and I could go even to multiply or overlay, just like they have in Photoshop. Just kind of play with these a bit. go hard light and then bring it down. I'd say that's not too bad. Ooh. Ooh. Is that just because of the... Yeah, that's the UV mapping. Fortunately, you don't see too much of this on the other side, but the UV mapping on this side's a little wonky. If you notice, the texture goes a little weird there, but it's not too big of a deal, because what you see in game is going to be on this side, which turned out pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to back out of this. This was our plastic, so I'm going to call this just plastic or dark plastic. So we'll go with that. And then we still have our dark metal that we want to do. So I was probably going to go with another gunmetal. Maybe this one here, and I want it to be pretty dark. Dark and shiny. So, we're on albedo right now, so that's already set to pretty black. So if we make it more metallic, so if I go ahead and reduce the opacity on that, and then I'm going to make this one more metallic. And then we'll go back over the roughness because I want it to be shiny too, so I'll bring this one down and make these ones transparent just like we usually do. I'm going to brighten it a bit because it's a little too dark. Definitely coming along. Actually, I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other metal, because I wanted to try a different metal in this one as well. I'll just go metal. I'm going to try a lighter metal that I know has a nice shine to it, and then I can darken the color map and see if I can get something nice going on that. So this one, I'm going to have to play around with the scratches because I got these weird boxes on it, but if I go to the steel here and turn this down, try to kind of match the roughness level on the two of these. Doesn't look too bad. The reason why I wanted to redo this because the barrel didn't look the metallic that I wanted it to. But now it's looking pretty good. Okay. So I'm gonna try to see if I can add like a grease or a dirt to that pistol grip. So we'll jump back into here. And I'm going to add a new material. Might end up adding a new smart material, we'll see in a second. We'll go with the dirt for now and see what comes up. They have this accumulated mechanical grease. I want to see what that might look like. So I'll bring the scale down quite a bit. And then the normal is going to come down quite a bit. So intensity. And then the roughness is going to be, so we want it to shine like it's a grease almost. Okay, so now let's just really quickly go into the mask. And I'm not going to do really any painting. I'm going to see if I can find a base one that can kind of simulate what I want. Let's see if dirt does it. There's too much. Big soot. Don't really see much of anything there, to be honest. There we go, we got some faint stuff going on. So we'll keep the sun bleach one in mind and look through some other ones. Not much going on with that one. What about big tarnish? No, I think the sun bleach is going to be our winner. It's got it around edges and whatnot, which I like. Then I might add a dirt as well, like an actual dirt. I have to go with the mud. I'm going to make it very transparent so you won't be able to see really much of this at all. Okay, so I'm going to go to multiply. I still want the color to come through though, so I'm going to try soft light. Maybe? Yeah. I'll just kind of play around with these until I find something that relatively looks good. It's color burn. I have to go with lighten, but turn it down quite a bit. The normal is going to be almost completely gone. And then we're going to go in and edit the actual mask again, so it's only applied to, like, you know, select areas. Why don't we try that dirt one again? Oh, they got a smooth rust. This one might be cool. It's too even over the whole thing. Curvature is not going to do really anything if I play with this because I don't actually have a curvature map. There we go. So you can see it kind of goes around the edges still. Isn't looking too bad. Definitely making it look a little more realistic. And then I might end this off with some scratches. So, I think what I'm going to do is add a clean layer. And what I can do here is get it to look like a scratch by making it metallic and rough. And then I'll just go into the editing again for the mask, and then I'll just really quickly pick something that looks like scratches. And then that should be good. Probably just multiply over it. There's some scratch ones down here. Light edge scratches. That is not light. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Yeah, curvature's not gonna really... Oh, curvature actually did do something. Let's just kind of play with these a bit. What's the tightness doing? Since the scratches seem to be vertical, I'm going to see if I can rotate this 90 degrees. Didn't seem to do anything really. Okay. Nope, out of luck with that. But what I'm going to do is go back to here, and for the opacity, let's play around with this. Yeah, definitely not multiply. Hard light, make it just a hair bit transparent. I think I'm going to want to add the same sort of scratches to the top here. A little disappointed that this didn't rotate. It must be in the mask that needs to rotate. I wonder if I can just rotate the mask 90 degrees. So I'm going to go back into the mask and see if I can rotate it in there. They have invert mask. Let's just back out of that for a second. I'm also going to change the name of this to scratches. Yeah, I don't think I can really rotate it. That'd be a nice feature if they had that. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it. So we're just gonna have to stick with that for now. If I do find something, I'll add it in. It's not looking too bad. Basically what we're getting at right now. So like I said, I'm gonna go back to the slide, and I'll end up adding those scratches in there. So we'll do the same idea, add a new clean layer. Come on, there we go. Bump up the metallic, bump down the roughness, go back to the albedo, click on the mask, edit. Oh yeah, and I still gotta add scratches to the magazine as well, so we'll do that really quick as well. At least we know the settings that we kind of want to go with, so we'll go back down to our scratches. I think the idea that what I wanted to go for was some light ones that were just kind of going across it. So I think I managed to get that by bringing the tightness down a bit, but if that doesn't work, I can always bring the brush size down and kind of just add it in myself. So let's see if I can get some... Ooh, way too much. Still too much. Okay, let's bring this down just a little bit more. Mainly near the bottom, I would think, because that's where it's going to scratch. Well, what happened there? That one got really white. Oh, I'm gonna have to touch up this now, because the scratches kind of got a little out of hand here. Kind of make sure it's not all out of whack. It should be using roughly the same as the other side. This one did a bit better job than the other scratches that we tried to do before, and how they were getting stuck inside the curves there. Yeah, you can see this is where the UV map stretched a bit, so I'm gonna have to do this a bit more manually. Gonna help prevent the player from being able to see that weird UV map issue there. Not too bad. Oh, they got this weird line down the middle here. Shouldn't be there. That's too thick. Alright, I think I'm okay with that, so we'll go ahead and accept the mask. Do the same thing to the magazine really quick. So go out of the slide one and back to the magazine. Add a new layer. Go to metallic once it loads. We'll make it a bit more metallic. Roughness, bring that down. Go back to the albedo, mask. Alright, and our scratches. Now that doesn't look half bad. We can bump it up a bit more. Not that much. I'd say that's relatively good. I do kind of want to add more lighter scratches along this one. So I'm going to add a second layer of scratches. So this is more of the edge ones. So we'll do the same thing, add a second one, bring up the metallic, bring down the roughness, go back to the albedo, edit the mask, and then we'll pick the, there was another scratches one that was kind of more random than edges. It was this one here, I believe. It looks like the other one kind of went out of hand there, so I might have to fix that. So I'll accept this one for now. Go back to the other one once it loads. And then edit. Because I think from this angle I just didn't see what the front was doing. You can see it did it on the Glock logo there as well. You can see the tightness was a bit too much. So I'll bring it down a bit. I don't want to do it too much and ruin the rest of it, but what I'll end up doing is bring up the brush a bit and then kind of fixing it by hand. So I'll just go in like this, and that should be pretty good. I'll fix the Glock logo as well. I have lost my camera. There we are. Okay. So, we got our magazine with some scratches, not too shabby. We've got the pistol grip done. We got our slide done. We got the shell done. I think our Glock is looking pretty good. I might do a few more touch-ups here and there, but I think that's going to be it for the texturing portion of this, guys. Next up, I'm probably going to be jumping into Maya and working on rigging the gun, and then possibly moving into animating it and showing you guys how I do that. Alright, I hope you guys all enjoyed. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.